Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday morning. It's 10:06. Yeah. I know I'm a little bit late. I think I was late for my own birthday. I mean, like the day I was actually born. I think I decided to show up late. I'm good at being late. I'm permanently late. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, everybody, I am, of course, Stephen Britton. It is Wednesday, September the 27th, 2017, and this is my daily or semi quasi no longer daily show. It's now Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Of course, you can, if you want to be a wonderful person and help me out, it's always appreciated. Head on over to Patreon. Find me over there at SC Breton on Patreon. And slide me some shekels, as I've heard some people say here online. You can give me $1, you can give me $5, you can give me $10 a month. Anything that you offer and anything you give does, in fact, help me make this show better. Maybe we can bump it back up to daily. Maybe we can get a better microphone, some better equipment. Maybe I'll be able to stream to multiple places at once without having to send links all over the place. Who knows? That's kind of some of the goals that I've got coming down the road anyway. So, what am I going to talk today about? Or talk about today? Maybe I'll just speak backwards. I'm kidding. What I'm going to talk about today is the subject of taking the knee. Now, this is all, of course, in reference to Colin Kaepernick. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Taking the knee, and he writes, he says, in response when he was asked about it, I am not going to stand up to show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color. Okay? I guess he has a right to say that. Factually, I think he's probably wrong. In fact, factually, I think he is wrong. I don't think there's any oppression in the United States against black people. I think the opportunity afforded to black people is pretty much the same as the opportunity afforded to anybody, anywhere. It's the same. It's equal. So why Colin Kaepernick thinks that taking the knee to protest an oppression that doesn't exist is beyond me. As someone I follow and listen to a lot has once said, the biggest detractor, the biggest roadblock to personal success and betterment is having children without being a nuclear family. And a nuclear family is defined as a mom and a dad living together in the same house in a stable, loving, caring, respectful relationship. When 71% of black babies are born to single mothers, you can see how the cycle perpetuates itself in the United States. They're not oppressed. Bad decisions on the part of parents is what holds people back. And by the way, the percentage of white children who are so-called oppressed or would meet the same definition as being used by Kaepernick for being oppressed is what it is. White children born to single mothers without a dad in the house are also usually raised in poverty, usually raised with difficult circumstances, and so on. So you can't make that equivocation because it just doesn't exist. It's a conflation of contrary facts. So no, the oppression is not from the government or from society. It's from bad decisions. So, and I'm pretty sure Colin Kaepernick, as a NFL player who's probably paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, if not millions of dollars a year, he probably actually knows this, and there's probably another reason for it. And of course, the world has gone apoplectic. Donald Trump has gotten in on the act, and he referred to them as sons of bitches. You've got NFL players around the country all taking the knee to show solidarity. I think there's a song named Solidarity that the unions sing. Anyway, so all these different people are taking the knee, and it's to protest a number of things. And I think it boils down to the fact that they just don't like Donald Trump. That's what I think it is. Now, of course, Donald Trump can be his own worst enemy. I'm no huge fan of Donald Trump. I respect the guy because, A, he's a billionaire, and he obviously has to have been able to do something to have become a billionaire. But if you listen to the things he says, and you listen to the way he says it, the guy doesn't do himself any favors either. He is who he is. And you know, and quite frankly, he became president of the United States, or he ran for president of the United States for one reason, and one reason only. Donald Trump ran for president of the United States because Barack Obama, when he was president, looked Donald Trump in the eye and said, "I am something you will never be. President of the United States." Well, guess what? You don't tell Donald Trump he's never going to be something, because he'll find a way to prove you wrong. Anyways, getting back on track here. Oppression of black people in the United States. And I'm going to get to whether or not taking the knee is an appropriate course of action. And quite frankly, for me, the jury is out on the fact. And that hello James Postma, who's joined and is listening in right now. So, taking the knee, black people in the United States, are they oppressed? Well, I've just did a quick little bit of research here about about police shootings of black people, because there's a lot involved in this. And I've got, from the Washington Post website, I've got in front of me the number of people who were fatally shot by police in 2016, and I've also got a running total of the people who were fatally shot by police in the United States for this year as well. 963 people were fatally shot by police in 2016. And that's compared to 730 people were fatally shot by police this year. And it says here on these stats that mental illness played a role in a quarter of these incidents. Just under half of the victims were white, while 1 in 5 were black. 1 in 5 victims were black. Gross numbers so far: white, 326, black, 165. Now, this doesn't report on the race of the police officer. But what I can tell you is that on the WashingtonTimes.com, among a sample of 2,699 fatal police killings between 2013 and 2015, the study found that the odds of a black suspect being killed by a black police officer were consistently greater than the odds of a black suspect getting killed by a white police officer. And why do you think that is? Because the white cop knows the white cop knows that if he pulls that trigger and puts the black guy down, there's going to be riots. The only thing that Black Lives Matter has caused is black neighborhoods in flames. I've said it before. Somebody else has said it as well. And they're right. So there you go. Taking the knee. Should we take the knee, or should people take the knee to protest a government policy, decision, whatever? How proud are you in your country? And is showing a protest in this way by refusing to stand for the national anthem of that country the appropriate course of action? Well, first of all, do you have a right to do it? Donald Trump said that, get him out of there. Fire him. Donald Trump has every right to say that. You have a right to take the knee. You have a right to say or do whatever you want as a form of protest. So that's not an issue. The issue is, A, is Donald Trump right to tell the NFL, fire the guys? And B, would the NFL be right to fire the guys? Should you be fired for something that you say or do outside of work? And I'm of two minds on this. First of all, if you do or say something that makes your employer look bad in the public eye, your employer is technically in the realm, and it's fair game to fire you. So the next question is, does an NFL player taking the knee make the NFL itself look bad? Frankly, I don't think so. I think it makes the player look bad. I think the NFL is what the NFL is. I think no reasonable person would think that the actions of a single player on the field during a game, during the national anthem, reflects of or should be taken to be an endorsement by the league as a whole. It's a bit like advertising on Google, or rather on YouTube. We all know that the ads that are played before any video that you watch aren't affiliated with the video that you're watching. You know full well that those videos are added, with the permission of the video creator. But they are added while they're added with the permission of the video creator. The video creator has absolutely no control over what ads get played. That's up to YouTube. And then, of course, YouTube starts. Well, we'll save that for another time. So, does taking the knee? What does taking the knee do? Well, I guess ultimately, it is perfectly fair game for the team to pull the player off the field, refuse to let them play, bench them, kick them off the team, whatever. Because freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequence. What it means is that you cannot get arrested and thrown in jail for expressing an opinion. It means that nobody can physically intimidate you or prevent you from expressing your opinion, as I talked about on Monday. What it means is precisely that, actually. It means that you can express your opinion any way you want, as long as you're not calling for violence against somebody else. And taking the knee doesn't do that. So the NFL, if the team chooses to fire the player, that's up to them. But that's the only, or any other form of disciplinary action. And I really hate using the term disciplinary because discipline means to teach, not to punish. But as long as the action is nonviolent and as long as the action is not excessive, then the team can take whatever corrective action they choose. What would you do? You see, the reason that I am standing somewhat in support of the right to take the knee and the right to take it without being kicked off the team is because here in Canada, I refuse to sing the national anthem. I don't take the knee. I don't kneel during it. And I certainly don't cause a disruption. But I will not sing the song. Now, if there is a Star-Spangled Banner, I'll place my hand over my heart and I'll sing it loud and I'll sing it with pride, because I think the United States is a country that I can respect just because of what the United States stands for and how they act. But I will not sing "O Canada." And the reason I won't sing it is because I cannot, in good conscience, sing our national anthem as long as Justin Trudeau is Prime Minister. Because he is ruining this country. He is not, I don't recognize Canada as being Canadian anymore. It has become something else. When you have a country that actively, through the votes that they cast, turns their back on victims of ISIS. When Canada The Canadian voters knew full well that Justin Trudeau had promised to pull our bombers out of Syria and out of Iraq who were bombing ISIS. And ISIS throws homosexuals off buildings. ISIS set a guy on fire. ISIS drowned 5 people in a cage because they could. ISIS put 4 guys in a car and then fired a rocket-propelled grenade into the car and blew it up. They put explosive necklaces on guys and blew their heads off. They crucify Christians. And Justin Trudeau promised to stop bombing these guys. Yeah, okay, fine. You know, we're providing support and we're providing training to the people on the ground. Big freaking deal. And that is why I refuse to sing "Oh Canada." Because my Canada does not turn its back on people. My Canada stands up and for defending against that kind of crap. My Canada bombs the people who do that to others back into the Stone Age. My Canada showed up on 2 beaches in Normandy. Juno. Well, Juno, I think it was Sword. Juno for sure. And took heavy casualties to stop an oppressive regime, which was industrialized murder. That's what my Canada is. And I cannot sing a national anthem of a country that refuses to defend and stand against that kind of thing. So no, I don't sing "Oh Canada." I stand respectfully, I stand silently, and I give the people around me the freedom to show their respect or lack of respect any way they wish. If I find a way, I find a way to make sure that I'm not even present during the national anthem and it's no longer an issue. That way I can show my level of I can just not be there. But I'm not going to sing it. And that's my level of protest. Now, I don't take the knee because I think that is, for me, a step too far. Because then I'm drawing attention to it. And I'm your typical Canadian. I'm pretty low-key and pretty laid back and relaxed. But I won't sing the national anthem. Especially now that it's been made politically correct by changing the lyrics again to take out "in all thy sons' command." And in fact, the English version of the song is nothing compared to the French version. A direct translation of the English version of the song of "Oh Canada," if you listen to it, it's all about, it's a very Christian song. And it's very militaristic. It involves carrying the sword. And the son being Jesus. But that's my take on taking the knee. I'd like to know what you think, actually. Throw in a comment. After I've done recording this, I'll throw up the video onto YouTube, of course. And I'll place the links in other places as well. But yeah, that's the deal. So throw me a like on Facebook if you like what you hear. Head on over to Patreon if you feel so inclined. Anything that you send my way, it's never expected. It's never demanded. But it's always appreciated. So that's it for me. I'll be back on Friday to do the live version of this podcast. I'll also hopefully be able to throw it together a video in the next few days and get one up there this week. And it's not the one I'm working on. I'm working on a big one. I've got an idea for a smaller, easier one as well. But that's it. That's all for Wednesday, September the 27th, 2017. Stay locked on the page on Facebook. Like the page, follow the page, do what you need to do. You can find me on minds.com as well, at SC Britain. You can find me on Twitter, at SC Britain. And I'm even on gab.ai, at SC Britain. So that's it for me, and we'll talk to you next time.